Hello and welcome back to Pop Samurai Network's Thursday Power Pop Block. I am your host, Will Walkie Washkun, along with my co-hosts. That's your boy Jelani Hoon. That's Critical Joel Pepperaki. And we are back for some Pop Aficionados. For those of you who don't know, this is our just fun talk show where we have some segments. We talk about what's new and exciting in the world of pop culture. For more examples of that, or to catch up with us on social media, be sure to check out popsamurainetwork.com for all the info, and join us every Thursday here starting at 7 p.m. Central for Pop Contention, which we just did, and Pop Aficionados, which we're about to do. Did I get it all? I think I covered it all. And also be sure to tune in next week as we are turning, like 6? 7?
Yeah, so
Pop Samurai Network is celebrating our anniversary again.
Yes.
Next
week is our official anniversary for Pop Samurai Network. I started this back in 2015, so that would make it what?
Damn! We're turning 5.
Turn 5, the big 5,
the
big 05.
05, yeah. How are we gonna blow out all those candles?
From humble beginnings of just small podcasts to live streaming this Thursday show with my best friends.
Oh yeah. Well, we are always glad to be here with you, bud. So be sure to check us out. Tell your friends. Come over and have some virtual cake with us. Should be a good time. But I say we start out with some what you doing, what you playing, what you watching. And let's go over to Joel to start this off.
All right. So watched. Amy and I rewatched a movie, and I don't know really what even sparked it, except for that we were looking for a good thriller to watch. And this one is Zodiac. I thought this movie was fantastic the first time around, but it had been quite a few years since we watched it, both of us. So we rewatched that, and that one still is fantastic after the second viewing. I think it actually gets better too, because you now are keeping it, because like the first time you see it and you see all the actors that you know very well, such as Robert Downey Jr. and Jake Gyllenhaal and Mark Ruffalo, you're just like, yeah, I know, of course. But now you know them even more because it's been a few years, and it's just cool to look at them now and be like, wow, they did a fantastic job as those people and really brought them to life. So yeah, if you haven't seen Zodiac, it's about the Zodiac killer. Go watch that one. It's definitely worth your time. And I think it is on Netflix for free right now. So
free on Netflix. Go learn about Ted Cruz's backstory.
Well done, sir.
You guys remember that? That was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, of course. I love that. And then the only other thing that we really have been watching is a new episode of The Internet Historian. I don't know if you guys watch him at all on YouTube, but he is one of the funniest guys that has ever existed, and makes like videos with full narration of like some topic that was relevant at some point that was just absurd that took off on the internet. But this time what he did, and I'll mention this after the show and I'll bring it up later, but he did a really cool rendition of being like, we're going to make a horror movie using all the tropes we can, and he forces his buddy to go through essentially like a one-shot RPG of like trying to survive in a haunted house and what you would do, and it is so funny. So if you guys get a chance, go check him out on YouTube, Internet Historian. He's got 2 channels, but either of them are priceless. I played and will review Link's Awakening DX for Game Boy Color, and that is to hype up myself so that I can play the newer one, but I will talk about that as a review in a little bit. And the only other thing that I really did was started rereading, in light of the fact that we're getting closer to Halloween. I thought I would read Richard Matheson's Hell House. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Matheson, but he made the story for I Am Legend. Nice. And of course, Hell House is probably his most popular, but not turned into a good movie. So yeah, that's all I've been really up to, though. What about you guys?
Jelani, you want to take that one?
Oh, you want me to go?
Yes.
All right, we're gonna ramp up here, guys. So I'm gonna start with a couple things, different things here. So let's start with on the side of stuff that I've seen before. I rewatched the movie What We Do in the Shadows. I don't know if anybody here has seen the movie What We Do in the Shadows. It is a movie that was directed by Taika Waititi. It is about
it's vampires, right? It's got Jermaine Clement in it.
Jermaine Clement from
where did you watch this? Because I someone yelled at me that I need to watch this movie.
Oh, I believe I watched it on let me see here. Oh, I had to rent it.
Okay, cool.
Or not rent it. I actually bought it on Amazon Prime a long time ago because I love the film. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually own it on my Amazon Prime account. Sorry.
Nice.
So it's a really great film, guys. It's kind of like it does like documentary style. So if you like that style, like The Office or something like that, it's very much like that, but with vampires. It does the whole like, cut away and they're like sitting there talking to the documentary crew, and like it plays it as like very dry humor, but it's awesome because like it's not like they're laughing or anything like that, or anything like they take it seriously, but they're taking it seriously, but it's hilarious to us as like when they're talking and things happen and just like, man, this is pretty funny. And it just follows like this group of vampires who like share this like flat together, and it just goes through like their daily routines and stuff like that, and it just really cuts into like poking fun at vampire lore and things like that, and just like all that. It's really great. I highly recommend it for anybody who hasn't watched it. Joel, you watch it?
I have not, but I'm very familiar with this and I want to see it too.
Yes, it's very good. The reason why I watched this because I wanted to I've been wanting to watch the What We Do in the Shadows TV series that was made, and that was also redone. It basically has like it follows a different group of vampires. They're in Staten Island instead of, I think the movie was in New Zealand, I think. But yeah, the series so far, I'm partway through the first season, and man, it is really great as well. It hits all those same notes. It very much like kind of does like a kind of pseudo like kind of retelling of like the first of the movie. It's not the same characters, it's not like, but it also kind of does like it's hit some of the same notes, but at the same time it like expands upon it. It really goes more deeper into it, and it really like ramps up, and the actors who are playing these characters are really great. So I think it's really well done. Highly recommend watching either the movie, which I absolutely love, one of my favorite comedies out there, or the series and starting that up, because it's also, the series is very well done as well. So I like it a lot. So it's good stuff.
I mean, we got to give a shout out to this guy's career, honestly. I mean, Jojo Rabbit, and we've got Thor.
Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi is a Thor. He's going to be doing the next Thor movie.
Thor. He's doing a couple. Look at this lineup too. We're Werewolves, which I'm assuming is going to be like a comedy. He's doing a new Time Bandits TV series, and he's doing the new Flash Gordon too. So it's like,
he is a very funny dude.
Yeah, Chat, I completely agree. I do. The one thing I do miss is I do miss Jermaine being in the show, not being in the show. The characters, actually, spoilers, but it's actually really fun, and I knew it was happening and didn't ruin it for me. But the characters do make like a cameo appearance in the series, and so like it's really awesome. And right away when they showed up, I was like, ah, it really made, I was like, yay. But at the same time, highly recommend at least watching that film, guys. If you guys get a chance, it's well worth watching. I absolutely love it. So, and I recommend the show too. The show is really well done too. So that's that. I did a deep dive in Ghost of Tsushima, guys. I decided, like, I've stopped farming for a while on my Stardew Valley stuff, and I decided to get into the samurai action. So I've been stuck just clearing the bottom half of that island, Joel.
Oh, he's gone.
Joel's left.
He ghosted us.
And he has a sword. Of course he has a sword. But yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, I absolutely love this game so far. I knew I would. It's hitting all the right notes for me. I'm addicted to it.
Oh god. Absolutely. Where did he come from? He's like a ghost or something.
Yes. Absolutely love this game, guys.
No.
Recommend it if you're a fan of Kurosawa films and things like that, the old samurai genre classics and stuff like that. It is really well done. It's a love letter to them. I think it's so good, so good. Beautiful game. Gameplay is top notch. I can't stop raving about it right now. I'm doing the same thing you did, Jill, where I'm just like I'm running around the bottom half.
Yeah.
Bottom half of this island trying to clear everything out of the way. And I'm like, man, I haven't really even touched the main story.
You will. And have you done some face-offs though with like select individuals and they do this and it's like they do
a standoff. They look at each other and it's like click and ready to go after. So I absolutely love this. This is hitting all the right notes for me.
Cool.
And I can tell by the end of this game, I'm just gonna be totally in love with it. So high marks for me. Good stuff. But yeah, good stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, folks in the chat, thank you so much for being here. Good stuff. I want to talk about something else I watched here. I watched the Mulan movie, guys.
Okay. Here we go.
Holy cow.
All right. So I spent $30.
I was gonna say you shelled out.
All right, here we go. Best.
So Disney has officially made $30.
All right, so the chat right now, best movie ever. Oh, nice, very cool. Before I ruin everything that you just said, here's the plushie.
Oh yay!
Earlier. Here's a shot of my Funko Pop as well.
I am here.
Yay!
He's trying to soften us up.
Yes.
All right, so
okay, the new live-action Mulan.
Yeah,
I don't like this movie.
Okay,
I don't like this movie, guys. All right, now I'm gonna start this off by saying, all right, all film is subjective. You can love this movie. I will appreciate it if you did love this movie, but here's what I'm gonna give some background for me. Right, I am an Asian American. I come from an Asian background. I know this folklore. I know this Asian folklore story. I did enjoy the Disney version, even though there was like a lot of controversy where back in the day when it first
the
released,
animated version,
the animated version, yes. I know that there was a controversy back in the day when it first released that that there was some backlash from China about the film, and that happens. All right, so here's the thing. I don't think this is a good movie, right?
Okay.
That's what I've heard.
The story that they try to retread is basically there. It's not much. Actually, it's very different from the animated feature because one, no songs, but I was like trying to overlook that because I, as the international review person here, have seen versions that aren't musicals or Disney-fied, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's my biggest problem with this film. The way that it's paced story-wise is not good, right? It's very choppy. They don't develop characters very much in this at all. You've taken the character of Mulan, which back in the day in the original animated feature, she was a character who had to rise up to this being, trying to deal with her identity, and deal with rising up to the call of this and trying to do this for her father. In this film, there is none of that journey. She just starts out already being the best at everything. And when you already have a character starting out as like, they just very, very fast gloss over it. It's like, oh, they basically turned her into a superhero in this, basically, where she already has these powers. Now she's just a powerful warrior. And so, but there's no like, where's the journey?
Where
There's
does
no
it
journey
come
for this
from?
character.
No montage.
I would, if anybody has seen these films recently, I would say it's very much in the same line as like one of the new Star Wars films, where there was no hero's journey to getting better. There was no rising to the occasion. It was, oh, I am already the best, and I'm the one who, and again, I really enjoyed the animated version because like she didn't start out being like the best at everything, but they did that training thing. They
She
showed her getting
started as
better.
kind of
She
the
practiced.
worst at everything.
Yeah.
She was
And
very much an undeveloped character.
Well, isn't that critical? Because that gives you the relation to the main protagonist. Then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that's so sad that they do that.
So as a film fan, like I went into this, tried to have an open mind about it. I knew that there weren't going to be songs, so I was like, let me gloss over this.
No songs, no Eddie Murphy.
No songs Eddie Murphy, which again, okay, yes, and you're trying to, if you were gonna try and go the way of doing an actual telling of like the folklore and storyline of this, sure, right? And because it comes from a very old Chinese folklore, but the problem is you have no development here of the characters. The side characters aren't developed at all. They just are in the world, right?
Mhm.
I could by the end tell like the characters, but by the end of the film, why do I care about these characters? There were no stakes in this film at all, and there was a war going on. There were no stakes at all.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. There was a lot of decisions in this that it was jumping between scenes like constantly, and it was jumping between different locations, and a lot of it was just not very well put together. It didn't run smooth. I found myself being bored. And I've seen other, like I watch a lot of films, and I can overlook some things, but this is a film where I felt like they didn't know what tone or what story road they were going to go down.
Have you seen any of the other modern remakes of the Disney stuff?
Yes, I have. Yes, I saw the Aladdin film. I saw Beauty and the Beast. I saw Cinderella. I've seen actually probably all of them.
Among those, like with that context, is this just a miss, or is this keeping with the trend where like you don't think more of any of these are really good?
For me, I think that this completely missed the mark.
And not just nostalgia glasses either,
And this is not nostalgic glasses, because again, this is coming from someone who is a film fan.
Yeah.
I know I know pacing, I know things like that. I enjoyed the original film, but I also have enjoyed other like actual like from different companies, like Asian international versions of a Mulan story, because it's been done before. Plenty of times outside of the animated feature, right?
Mm-hmm.
This felt like it was very much trying to be everything at once and couldn't be one thing. You know what I mean? It tried to be a full-on Asian fantasy, Chinese fantasy movie, where you had the the floatiness and the movements and stuff like that,
fly by wire and stuff.
Yeah, and but at the same time, you're trying to at the same time shove in all this weird, like there wasn't even really anything like funny about it at all. And one of the things that I was very confused about was if this movie was very much a family film or not, because there were a lot of scenes where I was like, this is a little dark, and it looks like you were trying to like skirt the line of a dark film and not dark film at the same time. But none of it had any stakes. It just was, right? Like there I'll spoil the animated feature, right? So if anybody hasn't seen the animated feature, spoilers for this. So in the movie of the animated feature, you have the scene where the character of Mulan is joins the camp and everything like that, and has to prove herself as one of the soldiers, right?
Yeah.
But in this, none of that happens, right? She's there and she just is one of the soldiers right away. There is no building up, right? She is just already a really good soldier. The whole pole sequence in the animated feature where they were looking,
she had to retrieve the arrow to earn her place there.
Not here, right?
Mm-hmm.
They replaced it with a scene where the characters had to carry buckets of water, holding their arms straight to the top of like this mountain, this staircase, right? There was no like real stakes with that either, right? There were no like risk of expulsions. There was no anything like that.
They just had to hold them outright for
for strength and training and stuff like that. But at the same time, the difference and the reason why it worked so well in the animated feature was it wasn't supposed to be a feat of physicality. It was supposed to be a feat of you showing that you could work around
endurance. Yeah, because they had the bow staffs to carry the buckets, or they were sandbags in the animated film.
They were like they were weighted weights and the way that she figured it out, she used what she has best, which is her smarts, and tied them together and used it to climb the pole.
Right.
But in this, it was just a moment where she was like, she thought about it and she wanted to become a real great soldier because she already was one. And then she was just like, all right, and then decided to do it.
The classic hero's journey.
The classic hero's journey where it's like, and she was
I'm already good at everything.
So it's so weird. Like in this feature, none of these characters are exactly kind of likable, really.
I was gonna say, Bumblebee in the chat is asking, who is your favorite character in the live action?
And see, this is the biggest problem. Everybody in this film, any character outside of Mulan, is very forgettable.
Okay.
No one. They barely built up any type of relationships. They built up very little backstory on any of the side characters. She was supposed to be really great friends with this crew, in the army. With this little tight group, but you barely know who they are.
Sure.
They're kind of just there poking fun at each other, but then it's like, why do I care about these characters?
Yeah. So your favorite character was Mulan, but it's because you didn't really have any other choice.
And it's because you didn't really have any other choice. And this movie went back and forth between trying to be kind of campy and not campy. Like it was going for realism and then not. And it just
couldn't decide what it wanted to be.
Yeah, and so I was very disappointed by this. I'm taking too much time on this.
I was gonna say, let's wrap this up. Give us a final thought and an out of 10.
Out of 10. Again, this is just for me. I can't say that I like this film at all. I will give this a 5 out of 10. Okay. I was very let down by this film. I thought I would like it more. I was really looking forward to okay, they're just gonna do a straight film, and they're gonna just retell a story in their own way. But everything they did just made me not care. And I was, why should I care about this? I don't understand any of this. There was no big reveal. There was no anything about she just was. Yeah. And it just didn't work for me. So
right on.
Maybe I hope it worked for you guys out there. I hope everyone out there who enjoyed it still loves it. I'm not trying to take away anything from that, but yeah, I can't say that I enjoyed it. So
moving on.
Sorry, folks.
No, you're fine. I mean, I wanted to bring up a different topic from that, but we can keep going and let Will touch on his stuff.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I mean, it's just interesting because I think this is probably going to be somewhat controversial, but not in a political sense, so that's fine. It's more of the corporate sense, which I think we can all get behind. It's interesting to see something that went from being so beloved, which was almost everything Disney had put out, to now being questionable at best for the majority of their content.
Yeah, I mean, you think about people who grew up with the animated features. I know a lot of us who just won't bother with the live action. Yeah. Like, we've got something we absolutely adore, and we're good with that. And especially now that they're doing a pay model where you pay $30 to screen it in home. Especially when this is the first major motion picture that they're doing that payment model for. Man, talk about crash and burn. Like, from what I'm seeing on the online reviews, a lot of people agree with you. It's a meh film. And to start this pricing model, I think Disney absolutely kneecapped themselves here.
Well, and it goes beyond that, of course, and we don't have to go into that extension of it, but it's like, even the parks, what Epcot used to be was more educational and things like that, and they're moving away from the slow rides for entertainment purely. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of weird because it's like that we all had, I think, a certain image of Disney growing up and what that meant, and it's particularly to even the older generation than us, they had an even kind of softer feel to that because it was like something that never happened before. Mm-hmm. And it was all very gentle. But, whatever, there's always been critiques of Disney, but at the same time, it's just changed into something that is unrecognizable in a way. And I think that's just something that maybe we'll save that discussion for another time. But, I just thought I'd make note of it where it's like, that's kind of a frustrating thing to have for people like us. We're probably the target demographic of all the live action movies because they're like, they're going to re-see it. They're going to love reliving this moment. And it's like, you blew it.
Yeah, you had your shot.
You know what? The thing that I think will just boil this down into one sentence about how I felt about it. There was no Disney magic from this film.
There you go.
It was missing any type of like, oh, this feels like a Disney magic film. It didn't have.
I get that. I get anybody who loves Disney would get what you're saying, I think. So that's a good way to put it. Nicely done.
But yeah, let's move on, please.
Okay. What did I watch and play and stuff? So I started the new season of 7 Deadly Sins on Netflix. I am reminded that is an okay show. It is not great. It is passable, but as far as like the Netflix animes are concerned, it's kind of the bottom of the heap as far as I can tell. The animation is too bubbly and kiddie. They have too many characters that we don't care about. The storyline is kind of disjointed. The main characters are still the worst part of that show. Meliodas and Elizabeth are still insufferable as characters. But you got to see your old favorites. The other 7 of the 7 Deadly Sins are great. The other 6, actually, because Elizabeth isn't a sin. She's a love interest. And so, like, it's good. It fills time. But I'm certainly not hooked on it like I would be for other animes. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad it's back. I'll watch through it, but I'm not going to go crazy about it. Have either of you watched any of those 7 Deadly Sins?
It's on my list to watch. I have not yet.
I think, like I said, I think you'll find it average. Parts of it are enjoyable, but overall, yeah.
I've only ever watched like the very first season.
Also, and I don't know this for sure. I should probably come correct before I accuse you, Jelani. But you told me, I believe, that I was wrong when I guessed Britannia as the location of the 7 Deadly Sins franchise. Britannia is the
world.
Overarching, the continent, I believe.
The continent, yeah.
Lyons is the country that they're in. So technically, I wasn't wrong.
I thought I brought that up too, but whatever, it's fine. Let him. Let it go. Let it go.
I'm just saying there are a couple asterisks on that last trivia match, and I'm out for blood.
Interesting.
Let it go. I won. Let it go.
Yeah. Moving on. We don't have to talk about that anymore. But yeah, check it out, but don't think it's going to become your new favorite anime, because it probably won't. And then I am watching Shameless. I think I told you about that. Mm-hmm. I'm actually fully hooked in this show now. I'm a season in, and this is a really good show. It is dirty. It gets rough, but it is very funny and entertaining and endearing, actually. So I think I'm going to stick with it at least for a couple seasons, and we'll see where we get to after that. And then I started playing. I finished Paper Mario: The Origami King.
Ooh, okay.
It was good. By the end of the game, I actually really started enjoying it.
Oh, good.
It takes you, like I said, you gotta get to that first boss fight, and then you'll start having fun. But it just feels like there's such a long tutorial before you get to the boss fight and the meat of the game. And so I wish they had gotten into that sooner. And then I started playing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Ooh.
And it feels like the exact same problem. I can't get into it yet. Okay. I've put about 4 or 5 hours into it now, and I'm not sold on it yet. It doesn't feel like a Zelda game. It feels like Skyrim Hyrule. It feels like The Elder Scrolls Hyrule. Or it feels like The Witcher 3, but with Link instead of Geralt. There's no, this is your sword, take it, it's dangerous to go alone. There's no sort of characters to really care about in the beginning. There's no village to start out in or anything. You just kind of wake up and you're like, hey, that looks like Link. Cool. Let's go find some choo-choos to beat up. They took a game that is traditionally amazing on rails because it always has such good story to back it up, and they threw out the rails and they threw out the story, at least to get you started. And so you really have to explore around to get anything out of it. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not sold on it. I think it's overhyped so far and underdelivered. There are things that I'm amazed I can do in this game, and it's a gorgeous game. Mm-hmm. But it's not Zelda to me. So we'll see how it goes. Okay. Answer for the chat. I have not played Twilight Princess. The last Legend of Zelda game that I played was Wind Waker. So nice. Keep that in mind. And like I said, there are cool things about it. It just hasn't hit home for me yet. So that's what I'm playing, what I'm watching, what I'm doing. Let's move on to some segments, unless anyone has anything else to talk about. Okay. All right, I'm sold. If you can turn into a wolf, I'll keep going. But for now, I'm not there yet.
I enjoyed it.
Let's go to a special surprise. Joel will not be doing Joel and Tell this week because I have stolen the special little bag of treasures. Yeah. So I am going to say, let's go to Joel for a video game review.
Well, this is
He's got cords and controllers and cords and controllers. It's Joel's video game review.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. This is a perfect lead into actually what I am going to be talking about. As I mentioned before, what I will be talking about today is this little beauty. That is Zelda Link's Awakening DX. I ended up getting it for the 3DS. I don't know why, considering I had it for the Game Boy Color, but because I wanted to play it on a rechargeable battery. So put it that way.
Because you wanted it in 3D.
Yeah, it's not even in 3D on there. It's not the new Link's Awakening, if that's what you're wondering. That's on the Switch.
Yeah.
So it's not the new one. It's the old one it's essentially the Game Boy Color one, the DX one that I was playing. And I have to say, this one is one of the masterpieces that people consider, like, they did such a fantastic job. This was a follow-up to, what's it called? The second, why can't I think of it?
Link to the Past?
Yes, it was a follow-up to that. And basically the same crew came together, and they said, we want to do something different and not just keep going in that same direction. So what they did was apparently the director kind of said, I want to make something like a Twin Peaks type episode. And I'm going to try not to spoil it, but they hint at it so obviously throughout the game that it's like you are essentially not part of this world, but it has to do with the title of the game. It's pretty obvious what's happening here. It's a damn dream. But it's cool because I know I'm gonna try not to spoil it, right?
I like how you were dancing around it and then you just said it.
And then he's just like, forget it.
Come on, the title. The friggin' title.
It's the Sixth Sense, everyone. No.
I'm just going to say, for a handheld, which originally came out in 1993, on the original Game Boy, the DX version came out in 1998. This game is fantastic. You know, you have the 2-item equip, only 2 buttons, A and B on the old Game Boys. And then you had a D-pad. And you had select, which would bring up a map, and start. So it's like, that's all you got. Very simple. But what's beautiful about that is the simplicity lends itself to being creative in the world then. And so they had to develop all these different creatures that you'd have to fight. And the dungeons are seriously complex sometimes, which is pretty impressive for a kid's game. But also what you're essentially doing is you wake up on a mysterious island and they're saying the only way you can get out of here is you have to wake up what's called the windfish. And basically it's this giant fish that's on an egg at the top of the mountaintop, and you can go and look at the egg, but it's not going to wake up unless you do something. And basically you have to play music with 8 instruments, and the 8 instruments are in different dungeons. So
The Legend of Zelda Jam Sesh.
Jam Sesh, exactly. But this one it's seriously beautiful. It has such a soft spot for me and many people who played it on the original Game Boys. I just think it was ripe for them to do this as a remake and keep it in the cutesy form. And I can't wait to give that a try, because apparently they've, improved some features of it, but pretty much kept it the same, except, it's just a different styling. And I would love to see like all the funny little animations and stuff like that they do in the new version of it, because previously, it was literally just text box and then also you had what's funny about the DX version is they had a lot of the printer stuff. So the Game Boy printer was out at the time, and basically they would have all these cutscenes where you'd be chased around by this photographer, and you'd encounter weird creatures and people, and it'd be like, this is a perfect time for a photo. And your love interest in that one, which was not Zelda, it is Marin. You get to sit at like a coastline, and you get a photo with her kind of and whatever. And of course, Link is awkward as hell, so it's just great. But
they
yeah,
had
it's really
the
cool.
Photographer in Link to the Past too, if you remember.
Yeah.
He would come by whenever you got certain items or got to certain areas.
Exactly. So, but this time it was like you had the option to actually print out what you were doing in there, which was kind of cool. So it's like you had momentous occasions throughout the game, which were mostly just kind of chill points. They weren't like after you beat the boss, but it was the in between. So it filled between. You weren't just racing from one dungeon to the next, put it that way. And sometimes in games, you're just trying to get to that next one to progress the story. But actually, a lot of this game actually takes place out of the dungeon, and I actually really approve of that. So if I had to give this one a Pop Samurai score, I would say as a handheld version of a game, where does it fit on that scale? This is probably an 8.5 out of 10, maybe even an 8.75 out of 10. For, let's say, handhelds, because I'm just going to put an asterisk on that one, because it's like this is a much smaller game than some of the epics we talk about on this show often.
That is still masterpiece level rating. Like anytime you're getting close to a 9 or a 10, that's up there.
Yeah. Oh, I promise. I mean, and having all these years in between that you play full-fledged games, and then to revisit something that's that old and still be like fully in love with it and engulfed in it, it was like, this is so cool. So if you ever want to play something that's fun and kind of easy until it's not so easy because of the dungeons, just go play some Zelda Link's Awakening.
He's giving this segment back next week. That was Joel's video game review. Yeah. Well done. Well done. In keeping with that tradition, then, we should do Will and Tell.
Will and Tell.
Hold on. Johnny. Will and Tell. Will and Tell. Will and Tell.
Is that really what it looks like when we do that? Oh my god!
I tear up every time.
I was actually I was gonna call it "Will you look at that?" But Will and Tell is fine.
Will you look at that?
Anyway, so I really only have one thing that I want to show, but I want to show it because I was doing some digging in my back room, which is where I keep all of my nerdy things. And I found these, and I thought at least Joel would get a kick out of them, but I'm pretty sure Jelani will like them too. You guys know that I am an anime fan, and you know that I am a convention fan, and you know I'm a gaming fan. Specifically, that convention would be Gen Con. I found some old school DBZ cards that are stamped from the Dragon Ball Z World Championships at Gen Con 2001 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's not going to zoom in.
That's so cool.
There we go. Gen Con 2001. And some of them are actually signed by the Funimation voice cast, which I think is super cool. So we got Tiffany Vollmer, who voiced Bulma. There you go. These cards are in ratty condition, by the way. You can tell that I was 11 years old when I got these. But then we've got some Sammy Straits, or Sunny Straits there, who is Krillin.
Yep. I was just gonna say.
And one thing I remember that was really funny about him is he was running around with a Sharpie in between his signings, and he was giving people Krillin dots. So he was going and he was like putting the little 6 dots on everyone's forehead.
With a permanent marker.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was walking around, Krillin dots, come and get your Krillin dots. It was pandemonium, honestly.
I just showed up at school with that.
Oh my god, yeah. Well, I think I probably saw him on Saturday or Sunday, so I would imagine I had Krillin dots on Monday morning. Well, though,
that's so cool.
I mean, if it was in August, school might not have been in session. If it was still, same time of the year. And then anyway, I have Sean Schemmel, who did Goku. There you go.
Yeah.
And the cool thing, so this is a pretty neat game. I don't know if you guys have played the DBZ card game, but it actually, you start out, like you have your character, and you'll notice that this Goku has a 4 up here. And like power ratings on a sliding scale on the other side of the card. Basically, you'd get this little red plastic Z that was your scouter, and you would power up your character. And every time you got to the top, you would advance to your next level of character. So like, Goku would go through like normal, then Kaioken, then Super Saiyan. You'd have like Piccolo, who fused with Nail and then fused with Dende and then fused with Kami. You'd have Krillin, who I don't know, like crouched a little harder or something. Like they all powered up however they do in the show. And so that was pretty cool. And then there's a couple of Chris Sabat's. We got Piccolo and Vegeta.
That is good.
And that was pretty cool, because especially now he's become like a total rock star voice cast kind of guy. Not all of them. So I actually have some that are stamped but not signed. And I have some that are signed but not stamped, but they all came from the same place. And they're
were they specially purchased there, or I'm sorry to cut
So this is showing how long ago it was. I think I competed in the World Championships and maybe got into the second round. I couldn't tell you. I have a bunch of these cards. So I think I won a couple.
Nice.
But that was literally the only time in my life that I've played this game was at that Gen Con.
Well, you would assume maybe when you won, you probably got a card or something.
I think I probably got like a couple booster packs or something.
Yeah.
Like but you can tell, like I said, these are probably covered with 19 years of like Mountain Dew and Cheetos that have just sat around. I'm amazed I didn't have to like literally peel any of them apart. But I thought that was really cool, especially with the voice cast. And I was just doing some cleaning in the back room and I ran into those. And it shows how much I love Gen Con, because that was the last year that it was in Milwaukee. And now I go every year in Indy. So,
well, just think of this too. I mean, you ran into all those people who, by today's standards, you would pretty much be like waiting in a mile line to get to talk to any of them. You know?
Yeah, and as I remember, we didn't wait a stupid amount of time. I mean, I was pretty into Dragon Ball Z, but I don't think I waited, half an hour even. I was probably in line for a couple minutes, and I got to meet, so many people who are honestly like revered in the VA community now. So I'm into it. I think it's pretty sweet.
That's cool, man. Yeah, very cool.
And Piccolo was my favorite character anyway, so having that one is special.
Awesome, man. That's very cool.
But yeah, that's kind of the big thing that I wanted to show off because I thought you'd get a kick out of it.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks for sharing that with us. Will and tell. Will and tell.
Okay, well you can tell you don't have as much practice at it as me and Jelani do.
I know,
so.
Of course. But you know what I am thinking? I'm like, what? If you guys
get
that. How are you surprised? Maybe if any of you guys ever want to show something off, by all means, we can switch places. I'd love to see a Jelani and tell too. That'd be awesome. So,
we got some cool shit.
Yeah, exactly. We all do. So
I do have cool stuff, don't I?
Yeah. So no, I just like we have these segments, but I think we can each swap them around and mess around. Like all the international movies that I be watching. So we'll see.
Yeah, I would love to hear that. I know Joe sees them. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, cool. So that is that. Let's move along to another movie review with Jelani.
Hey, this one is not going to be as long as the last one. So sorry,
that's good because it's September. So we only got so much 2020 left.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to be talking about the 2012 Korean movie, The Tower.
Bing.
So international review. All right, so this movie back in 2012 released out there. You can watch it now on Amazon Prime if you have Amazon Prime. It's included with that. This movie is a movie about is kind of like an homage or tribute to the old Towering Inferno movie starring Steve McQueen? Is that who? Yes.
Yep.
So this movie very much has that vibe of these firefighters that are dealing with this luxury residential building that just goes up in flames, and they are trying to get as many people out as safe as possible. It is over 100 stories up. There are two towers that are connected together, and the people who made or who own the building cut corners with some of the safety regulations here, and so that obviously leads to some very bad things that happen. This movie skirts the line between very emotional and very you get very caught up in like how much of a thriller it is, and you care about the characters. This actually develops a lot of characters, and then it also has like a lot of like heart and a little bit of a dark comedy at some points, because there are characters who are afraid, and they're a little bit funny, and they're just trying to survive, and you have the firefighters who are just battling against this flame flaming building, and the ladders can only reach so far. So it's really well done. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. It's for me, I thought it was really well paced and really well done. You follow through the film, you follow through the eyes of a single father who has his daughter who is trapped in the building, and he's trying to get to her. So he's trying to get to his daughter who's trapped in the building, and so it very much just follows him and these firefighters who are also aiding in that as well. And so there's a lot of really great moments in this. I thought that they did there's a lot of really cool. I enjoy these types of films where you have like when it shows like kind of a real life hero of like the firefighters battling against something that seems so insurmountable, but like you have like kind of like these heroes that feel more real. They do feel very real in this. So I enjoy that a lot. Of course it's a movie, so they have to pump it up a little bit, but yes, I think it's well done. I enjoy it. On a Pop Samurai scale, I would review it at I'll give it like a 7.5. Close to an 8, but 7.5 on the scale. That's just me personally. Like I again, film is subjective. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it if you get a chance to watch it. Amazon Prime Video. If you have Amazon Prime, it's available there. I think it's well worth the watch. I enjoyed it. It's a good film, and by all means, check it out.
Nice.
Good stuff.
And that was Jelani's thing he does every week. It's an international review.
Yeah.
Thank you for being our rock in this tumultuous, uproarious time where
episode.
Yeah, where we do everything different. Jelani is there to make sure that we hold the course. So
keep it steady.
Keep it
steady.
Yeah.
Keep on course.
Stay on target.
Set the course. Excellent. I'm gonna do quick consumer reviews if that's cool with everyone.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So going over to Will's consumer corner this week, because I missed last week, there's a bunch of stuff that is free right now on Xbox, PS Plus, and Epic Game Store. Last week, if you were paying attention, Epic Game Store gave away the very excellent Into the Breach, which is Subset Games follow up to FTL, both masterpieces. If you're not watching Epic Games for your free stuff, start doing it, because they are giving away good stuff. This week, they're giving away 2 games again. Railway Empire, which if you are into sort of engine builders, if you're into trains, that's what this is. This is sort of you're managing a transcontinental railroad company, and you get to build your railroads, see the great expanse of North America, and just build some really cool trains. So check that out. It looks pretty good. Good reviews on that one. They're also giving away a game called Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. This is a very intriguing game. It's a narrative-focused sort of like drifter simulation. So you play this guy who kind of walks the train tracks and walks around in, like, I want to say it was Depression era America. So you're kind of just walking around and seeing all these sort of vagabonds with their interesting and intriguing and unique stories. And you're seeing the sights, and you're just kind of trying to make your way in the world. It's got this really like sweet undertone of like kind of dread and noir almost. I think it looks dope. I've already gotten both of these games, and I'm pretty excited to fire that one up. So check those out. Epic Game Store, both free $99 for the next week. Shifting over to Xbox land, Xbox actually is doing some good stuff this month. available throughout September. You can actually get the original Tom Clancy's The Division for your Xbox One free game for September. And then through the 15th, you can get a digital download of D-Blob 2, which is that really neat, like sort of cartoony, artistic adventure game. You've probably seen it. It's been out for a while. Critics loved that game when it came out. That is the Xbox One /360 freebie through the 15th. After the 15th, you'll be able to get the Book of Unwritten Tales 2 and Armed and Dangerous, which I will cover next week because that's already up.
Ooh.
And then for PS Plus, the month of September is no slouch either. They are giving away Street Fighter V. Of course, I don't even need to introduce that one. And furthermore, on the non-obscure games they're giving away, a copy of PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Really?
Of course, massive battle royale style game. Kind of the game that set us down this whole battle royale heavy path and made Fortnite what it is because Fortnite just instantly stole that idea. So
we like Fortnite.
I play it all the time. Honestly, I'm playing it on my second monitor as I'm talking to you guys. But I already died, so never mind. So yeah, check those out. Free games, always good. You got your PlayStation, you got your Xbox, you got your PC. Check them out. Good times to be had. One other thing I will talk about really quick because this is consumer advice. If you are not paying attention to PC hardware news, which I know we never cover on this show, but if you're not, NVIDIA just released all the specs and even leaked some specs for their 3000 line of graphics cards.
I just saw that beast.
And this is a big story because literally from the lowest card all the way up through the highest, all of them are better performance than even the like high-end cards from the 2000 series. That kind of jump in power hasn't been seen since 2004. That was the last generation that completely dwarfed its predecessor. So if you are in the market to build a computer soon, do not buy a 2080. Don't buy a 2070. Don't buy a 2060. Just wait and get a 3000 series because the performance is going to be off the charts and you can beat the top of the line with the bottom of the line. And that's a big deal. I'm technically 3 generations old in my video card. So you might be hearing about me building a new PC soon.
I know, and I'm actually. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah, you're actually probably in the market too, and I think I've been talking to you guys too about it too. I am actually in the market for building a PC, and I know
PC?
We should all build our PCs together.
Hell yes, I will help.
I've been looking into mini PCs, like trying to build a mini one, just because I was like, if I want to devote it to you can get honestly pretty good mini gaming or mini PCs at this point too. I did buy this little guy, which was backed on Indiegogo. That is Chewy Larkbox. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this brand. They make small computers, but this is not just a Raspberry Pi. This is 8 gigs of RAM, Intel Celeron. It's got like a 250 gig hard drive on it, and look how big that beauty is. I don't think it can run like full on anything bigger than like a Wii game, but honestly, for like a web browser and stuff like that, this thing is pretty freaking cool. So
I was gonna say, it might not be able to handle much, but I'll tell you what, that could emulate some old stuff, and that could certainly handle some old stuff.
Well, they do, like, if people look them up online, you'll see like people doing like rendering tests and stuff like that. So there's tons of cool information out there, and the mini PC world has gone crazy. So it's like I'm just thinking about the footprint of something, and I'm like, yeah, a huge tower is fine, and of course that makes it easy and probably cheaper. Mm-hmm. But it's like, but having something kind of small sitting behind your TV and making your TV into a gaming computer. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, I'm just looking at it now, and the ones that I'm seeing are a couple $100, like $200 for that guy. Or what'd you pay? If you don't mind.
Yeah, I got it because it was Indiegogo originally $150. So
yeah, that's not bad for the specs I'm seeing. So it's pretty sweet.
Pretty funny. Yeah. Anyway, didn't want to sidetrack, but
pretty soon we will be able to just plug a dongle in, and we can actually. They do have dongle PCs now.
Yeah.
But like
they're usually not that great for
They're gonna be able to do just about everything we want to do. So that's exciting.
The graphics card you mentioned, it's like, that's a whole different level.
It's so pretty. I cannot wait. It's going to be so cool.
We'll finally be able to play Crysis at full...
Finally! Yeah, 12 years later, we can finally handle Crysis with everything that they built into it. But anyway, that is my consumer reviews. Can't wait to build some PCs with you guys. Let's go over to trailers with Joel.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, all right. I'm going to try to keep this one really brief.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about trailers.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I sent the one that is most notable to you guys. I'll just make note of a few other ones really quick that came out today. Two of them are Halloween movies, and they're more humor than horror. So one of them is a new update to Freaky Friday, and that has
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn, yes, I was going to say Steve Vaughn. I'm like, what the hell is that? And then the other one is Adam Sandler's new movie Hubie, which is on Netflix.
Hubie Halloween.
Yeah, Hubie. Yeah, is it called Hubie Halloween? I thought it was Hubie, but yeah, all right.
Halloween.
Yeah, that one seems more manageable. It's interesting to see him reprise that stupidity role. But
he's playing a very goofy character in this. Of the two trailers, I enjoyed the Freaky trailer more. But that's
did you? Okay, no, that's fine. I guess I have no attachment to that movie, I suppose. So it would be worth maybe for me revisiting the old one and see if it's like, all right, I can get into this. Yeah, check those out. Honestly, they're not bad trailers. And then one other one is LX 2048. This is a film like a dystopian future where the world's kind of falling apart and people are like existing in a world where cloning exists and whatnot. And the environment's really bad. So basically they're genetically modifying people to keep them surviving. And this guy kind of realizes that something's wrong with society and he's trying to break free of it. But they're kind of like, are you taking your lithium today? Are you taking your... So, you see that kind of dystopian type stuff in there. And basically he's like fighting to break free from that. And it seems kind of interesting, actually. So go check out LX 2048. And then I think just the big one that we'll talk about really quickly is the Dune trailer. So we got a final, or number one Dune trailer, finally. So a full-fledged 3-minute trailer on this one. And in my eyes, it looks pretty darn cool. I think that it's, a very visually stunning movie. And I think the characters and the actors and actresses that they used are good choices. I just don't know how much they're going to cover in detail unless this is planned to be a trilogy, and I'm not aware. Are you, Jelani?
I'm not aware of it right now.
Or anything like longer than a single movie, because it's like, that's a big book series, and it's like, I don't know how the heck you can just slim that down into one movie, but let's see what happens. I mean, there is, they did it previously in the original movie, and they didn't do a bad job with that one. And now it's like bringing that to the modern day. I think it's actually a great director for the choice too. It's like if they made that Blade Runner movie happen, which was better than it probably had to be, then of course this is probably going to be pretty cool too. What do you think?
Will, did you see it?
I did not.
Okay. All right. So, okay. I watched the trailer the first time through, and by the end of it, I was like, I was not really impressed. The trailer, and I'm not saying that the movie will be bad. I'm just saying that the trailer, something was off with the trailer for me. I don't know what it was.
Uninspiring, I would say, but I'm more interested in the story anyway.
No, yeah. But again, I will also preface this. I'm not a Dune well knowledged in Dune. I know it's a big sci-fi series books. And I know there was an older film, but I don't have a lot of. I know Spice, that's all I know, and Sandworms.
Sure, yeah.
Visually, I think right now what they showed in the trailer, it does look good, but for me, Denis Villeneuve, I think, or Villeneuve, I'm sorry. He is a visionary director. His directing style and his images and the things we see from him very much all the time are stunning. I didn't get that feeling from the trailer that it was him right away. I had to go back and watch it again. I was like, okay, I kind of get it, but like most of the time, whenever I've seen like his films, I was like, that's a Denis Villeneuve film right there.
I felt the color palette gave it away.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to get the sense of the feel of everything, but at the same time, like it does look like it. I'm interested, and I have all the faith in the world in the director. The cast looks great, so yeah.
Let me just give you a quick insight. You're not alone. Amy actually was like, "This movie looks like it's going to be at best," and basically she was saying it feels like a Star Wars movie where it's like, yeah, they're not terrible, but they're not great also. So you're not alone. Sorry to throw you under the bus, Amy, but I think it's interesting that other people are kind of perceiving it that way. So I don't blame you for it. And I think we've got a lot to see here. Let's see what happens.
I mean, I think it's just the trailer. I think there's something about the trailer that's throwing me off. I mean, there's a lot of good scenes in it. It's just, I don't know, whoever cut this trailer, I think didn't do as best of a job as they could have. So
my one worrying thing was the blue like force field around them when they're fighting. I'm like, that looked a bit cheesy.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Anyway, those are trailers. You don't have anything else you want to make note of, do you?
No. Those are the ones that I had.
Okay. Yeah, cool. All right, Will, that's all we've got for trailers then.
Nice. Let's keep it rolling with Jelani for what's releasing this week.
All right, just real quick, guys. What's releasing? If you guys are looking for something to watch and play, there's a lot of great stuff out there right now. I mean, if you guys want, go ahead and jump in for Mulan. If you guys are looking for something to watch, that's on you guys. Coming out soon, or something that's already been out. If you get a chance, Netflix has got a couple cool new shows. You can watch Away, which is kind of like a movie. Hilary Swank stars in it, about like the first mission to Mars, traveling out there. So that's really cool. Its first season is released on Netflix. Check it out. The Boys released, I think, last week, but I mean, I was going to talk about it last week, but this is the week to talk about it. You get a chance. They're releasing episodes now. From everything I'm hearing about it, seems really great. Next, coming up very soon, this Wednesday coming up, the next Wednesday coming up, Devil All the Time on Netflix is dropping out there. So Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, looks really cool. Check that out, guys, if you guys get a chance. And then for games, there's a lot of really cool things out there right now. Last week, Marvel's Avengers finally dropped on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and Stadia, if that's still a thing. So if you guys get a chance to check that one out, that seems like it's getting kind of mixed reviews, but just at the same time, some people are really liking the story. It's just the other things about it that are a little off. Another game out there that I want to spotlight. I haven't played it yet, but it looks really great. It's a game called Paradise Killer. It is on the Switch and PC. You can find it on Steam. It looks really cool. I think Joel, you get a chance, share it with Amy if she hasn't seen it yet. But it actually looks really, really cool. It is a game where it's an open world murder mystery game where you're on this island, and the aesthetics are very anime-esque. A lot of people are pointing to like it kind of looks like Persona aesthetics is what it gives you, and you are trying to solve the mystery of this murder, and you're interviewing like these other, I think they're gods or something like that, and you're trying to figure out who did it, and you can accuse anyone in the game and see what the outcome is. So it looks pretty cool. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remastered. A lot of people are really loving it. People are saying it brings back the feel, and it feels exactly like that. So if you guys looking for something to play there, that's something to play. Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning, which is a re-release of that game. There's a whole big story back in the day when this game came out, about like the company that made it, and they all folded in and everything like that. But the game has some nostalgic feel for a lot of people, so if you get a chance to check that one out, check it out. So that one seems really cool, and I think that's all I got for games. Yep, that's all I got for games. So hopefully you guys find something cool to watch and play over the weekend, and know that I love you.
Sweet. Okay. So we're still way over time, but I think that's all of our segments. And so that means it is time for Rapid Five, right?
Oh,
Rapid
hell yeah.
Five.
Rapid Five. All right. This is the part of the show where we get to know our hosts. Specifically, I get to ask them tough questions or stupid questions or a combination of both, and you, the viewer, get to enjoy it. We're going to start where we always start with Jaboy.
Oh boy,
Wasn't
right.
expecting this.
I don't know if I'm ready.
Well, we'll see. Me being the sandwich expert, I have to know, Jelani, how do you prefer your sandwiches cut? Triangles or rectangles?
Oh, triangles.
Triangles. Excellent. A man of my own, after my own heart. Joel.
If I learned anything
Yes.
from Sesame Street, gotta go triangles.
Gotta go triangles. Joel, what's one food that you absolutely hate?
Escargot.
Oh, not a snail guy, huh?
Yeah, that is snot. That is snot.
Okay, don't feed Joel snot. That's fair. Jelani,
Yes.
have you forgiven Jared Leto yet?
Oh,
For
No.
Joker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? You're over it?
I'm over it. I'm past it.
You're a better
yeah,
man
right,
than
look at
I.
that denial.
You are a better man than I, let me tell you.
I'll say this. I think he was the better performance in Suicide Squad. They should have had more of him, actually.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Really?
But they should have more of him. But yeah, moving on.
Joel, if you could go back in time and relive any decade, which would you choose?
God, man, that's a tough one. Maybe the 20s.
The Roaring 20s.
20s, yeah.
All right. I think that you would dance a mean Charleston. So that actually
Goddamn right, Sonny.
that aligns perfectly with what I know about you.
You're gonna go to a restaurant, order some cigarettes, cash your check, and then have a coffee.
Hey, doll, give me some smokes. Jelani, we're building a heist team. Who would be your pick for the face?
Ooh, the face.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose anybody, really. Famous people.
Anybody.
huh?
Real or fictional?
Oh, cool, yeah.
I am gonna go with real or fictional. That makes it more difficult now because like I can just go with an easy answer and do a shapeshifter.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Point.
But I'm gonna go with like a fun answer and do like a real celebrity and see who I would have like as my face. I would probably go with I'm gonna do Gary Oldman as my
Good
face
one.
because he's
Gary
a chameleon.
Hell yeah.
He has how many
Good
times have you
call,
seen
man.
that guy and he's like, that's Gary Oldman.
Yeah, for sure. Joel, we're still building a heist team. Who would
right.
you choose for the getaway driver?
Oh man. That's a good one. All right. I'm trying to think of good. All right, yeah, let's do this. We'll do Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen. That is probably the like number one Family Feud on the board answer. I would say
Yeah.
that is a bread and butter pick. Let me tell you. Jelani, mundane superpowers time.
Ooh.
The ability to make any one part of you magnetic, or you're able to comprehend all languages, but you can only speak them back when you have to poop.
That's fantastic.
So I can make myself magnetic.
Part of yourself.
One spot.
Yeah. Like it can jump around, but you can only make part of yourself magnetic.
But I have the choice to make what.
Yeah.
I would. You know what? I would choose the magnetic one. Actually.
Okay.
All right, because I feel like in a world of technology,
All right,
in a world filled with technology,
you're just like
one man has a magnetic right nostril. He is Jaboy.
You
Don't
see
put your phone by it. Yeah.
You see this finger? Zap. No more computer.
Man, you got me.
I'm thinking about being on the toilet and being like, I gotta make a call really quick and trying to hold on. I gotta call Italy.
Yes, Mr. Ambassador, what is it? I was really hoping we'd get to play with the speaking tongues while pooping thing a bit more.
Yeah.
How you doing? I just
all right.
Get it to me by okay, by Tuesday.
Why is the phone always muted?
Time for Joel's special question: lightsaber or blank? Joel has famously traded his lightsaber away long ago and currently has his very own Gundam. Now, my question, Joel, would you trade that Gundam for a real-life functioning respawn point?
Oh.
So you can die and you will always respawn back at this point.
Oh, man. Now, I guess we're not thinking about the complexities of having an infinite spawn point here, but...
well, remember, this is Rapid 5, so
I know,
don't write me a white paper on it.
Can you move it?
Hold on, let me get my whiteboard.
You probably could move it. Yeah, I would say it's technological in nature. So like a new U station or something.
Damn, dude.
It just looks like a save point. That's what it does. It looks like one of those crystals, the floating like save point.
That's
floating.
Move it around. There you go.
Let's say you couldn't carry it in your pocket though.
No, I get that. I'm just trying to think. It's like, would I want to live forever? And I think every novel that we've ever heard of or any movie that you see about living forever always proves to be not as good. I'm keeping that Gundam.
He's keeping the Gundam. He's here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I thought I had something there.
You did. That was really good.
He's gripping onto that Gundam.
I'm telling you, I made too good of an offer. He's had it for like a month.
I offered him a moon base last time.
I'm already on it with my Gundam.
All right, I guess I'll just take the respawn point then. And now it is time for everyone's favorite game show: Keep, Stop, and Snap. Today, the round of Kevins. That's right, you have to choose between Kevin Costner, Kevin Bacon, and Kevin Smith for Keep, Stop, and Snap. Who are you gonna keep? Who are you gonna stop from making any more art? And who are you gonna snap out of existence, erasing their entire body of work?
Oof, yeah. Man, ruthless. Johnny, you're first.
Yes. It's such a dumb question that I think it's actually a really good question. I found 3 dudes, all named Kevin. Drama.
Interesting. All right, I'm going to go with keeping.
I love how nonchalant you were just a moment ago, and then back to the intense face.
Yeah.
I'm okay. You know what?
Rushing back, right?
You gotta. Well, shit. Who's doing better work now?
I know. Exactly. You put a real stumper on this one here. Damn.
Okay. All right. Gonna keep bacon.
Gonna keep bacon.
I'm gonna keep bacon.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop. Shit, no, wait.
Oh! The pump fake. Joel, if you know, you can jump in.
All right, I think.
Yeah, jump in, man. Jump in.
All right. I think it goes like this. I'm going to keep Costner.
Okay.
He has made some epic ass movies, and although getting older means that he probably is going to make less, he's made. I know, Waterworld is a weird freaking movie, okay, but regardless, the next one, stop. I think I'm going to stop Kevin Smith. I have to say that guy is a powerhouse of different stuff. He's always active, and that's something that it's like, that's really cool. Just chill out for a minute. And Bacon, as much as I approve of his acting career, and I love Tremors to death, I love that movie to death. Do you understand? I think it's like, if I didn't know that existed tomorrow, would I be all right without it? Probably. Tell that to people who love what's it called? What is it? Flashdance? Not Flashdance.
Footloose.
Footloose. That's it. Yeah. As they're like.
All right. No. Okay. All right. I got it. Okay. I'm going to keep Smith. I'm going to stop Bacon. And I'm going to snap Costner.
Whoa!
Right? The reasoning behind this, right? Okay. Kevin Costner, great actor. Love him to death, right? But could I live without his stuff? Without the films he's made? I could. Actually, I could. Untouchables, I think, is one of the ones that is untouchable. But other than that, I think
Robin Hood.
Come on.
Here's
the English speaking Robin Hood, not the proper English speaking Robin Hood.
Here's the way that I knew that you were gonna snap Costner, is because I feel like that just means that like Michael Keaton gets more of those roles and makes them even better. Or something like that.
True. Also, at the same time, Keaton could totally take up a lot of these roles. I want to keep Bacon because I love Tremors to death. I love it so much.
I know.
Still, to this day, I still hold out that we can get some sort of reboot or series. They were working on it. He was there, and then they canceled it. So that's a thing. But so I'm just gonna stop him there. I think he did enough. Bacon, you got to have him in there. But I'm keeping Smith, and here's for the biggest reason why I'm keeping Smith. Like, his films are his older films I love the most, but he's always doing something. But Kevin Smith was one of the few people out there who actually inspired me to do podcasting stuff.
Oh, cool.
And he still to this day does a lot of different podcasts. And,
he's got like that comic book men thing that he does and all that stuff. Yeah.
So he has a lot of different podcasts and a lot of shows, and those inspired me to want to get into doing podcasts and stuff like this. So without
I think
him,
we just need to
Samurai,
get you a personalized hockey sweater, and then you'll be there.
You know, I should have brought it with me, but I have the Funko Kevin Smith pop. It's just
I do know that you own that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So
all right.
That's the reason why I keep. So.
And in true keep stop snap fashion, the laser beam now gets reflected by a mirror that our plucky hero pulled out of nowhere and reflected back on me, the ultimate villain. So I have to go through this torture as well. Fortunately, I've had a week of extra time to think about it. So I am very secure in my choice to keep Bacon, to stop Smith, and to snap Costner.
Reasons.
I've always very much enjoyed Kevin Costner, but he's never been like that apex of Hollywood for me, where I've always thought he's pretty good. I liked this film. But, could Jeff Bridges have done that? Could Michael Keaton have done that? So I've always seen him as a very good but replaceable leading man. Kevin Bacon, everybody loves to be 6 degrees away from Kevin Bacon.
That's
Kevin
true.
Bacon takes this horrible, divided, fucked up world, and he brings us all a little bit closer together. And we need that right now.
Everything's better with bacon.
Everything's better with bacon. Also, he played a very minor bit role in Animal House, and as you know, that's a foundational film for my life. And Kevin Smith, he's had so many good movies over the years. But I remember being excited when I heard the latest Jay and Silent Bob movie get announced. And then after like a minute, I was like, am I though? Like, whoa, new Jay and Silent Bob. Is that a good thing? You know, it's like, that's not something that needs to persist. I will always love him for, you know, Jay and Silent Bob and Mallrats and Dogma especially.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't need it to keep going for me to enjoy what he's got. I think he's an amazing talent that is already given enough. So that's where I am. And that's where we wrap up.
Beautiful.
Unless there's anything else you would like to say to our beloved fans.
I want to spend another half an hour on Mulan here.
God damn it, no!
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for all your support and love. Once again, I do want to stress out that we are still raising money for Extra Life, the great charity organization that we take part in every year. We are raising money for the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin. If you get a chance to check out the link is below the page here on Twitch, on our Twitch page. There's a link there. You just click on the image and it'll take you right to our page, and you can help donate there on the Extra Life charity organization webpage, and help us raise money for the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin. It's for a great cause. So
I'm throwing down the gauntlet right now. If someone donates $25 during one of our pop contentions, I will then sing my defense, my debate of whoever I am going to be talking about that round. I will improvise a song instead of my normal passionate debate in a style that you choose. So get in there, donate some money. Let's help some sick kids, put a smile on their face. And I'm also going to pressure my co-hosts to come up with some fun little goodies for you guys too, for supporting us. We appreciate it so much. So keep throwing down those dollars. We'll keep trying to, donate them to good causes. Nice. Yeah. And as always, tell us your answers for contention, for Keep, Stop, Snap. Literally take up all our time answering texts and comments and emails. We don't care. We love doing this. We love you guys. So keep them coming. Check out popsamurainetwork.com for more stuff. Be here again next Thursday at 7. And we'll see what Joel has cooked up for the rankings show. That's all I got. So, for my co-hosts, Critical Joel Paprocki and your boy Jelani Hoon, this has been Will Walkie Washkoon. You're at Pop Samurai Network, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye!
Bye-bye!
Will our heroes podcast survive? Spread the word, subscribe, and tune in next time. Same Pop Samurai time, same Pop Samurai channel.